Hi, Kevin Lentz, pastor, Trinity Badger Ranch. Thank you for joining me again for my Wednesday devotion. We have been going through the Psalms recently. Today we're going to continue that by looking at Psalm 20. Now, verses 1 through 4, I don't know exactly what David intended those verses to mean, but as I read them, he's writing them clearly to people who believe in God. They just might need a reminder of just how good and loving and powerful God is. I think in all the mays that he said, it might be included, may you remember how wonderful a God is. So verses 1 through 4. May the Lord answer you when you are in distress. May the name of the God of Jacob protect you. May he send you help from the sanctuary and grant you support from Zion. May he remember all your sacrifices and accept your burnt offerings. May he give you the desire of your heart and make all your plans succeed. Like I said, God does that. And again, these are faithful people because he says, may he remember all your sacrifices. So these are people who are already believers. Maybe they're just struggling and just kind of reminding them, I hope God remembers these things. May God remember them. We know he does. It's just kind of a gentle way of saying, God remembers what you've done. God knows you very well. God loves you very much. He's with you all the time. So just know that all that you have done to honor God, serve God, God received that. God is with you. And I simply pray that you be aware of how close God is to us. Verse 5, which talks about us and you. We will shout for joy when you are victorious, and will lift up our banners in the name of our God. May the Lord grant all your requests. David's simply saying that we're on your side because God's on your side. What God blesses you with, we're glad for. We're thankful for that for you. So we are simply as this one team, if you will. God our captain, God our God, God our leader, and we're all together in this. Verse 6 says, now I know that the Lord saves his anointed. He answers him from his holy heaven with the saving power of his hand. So God always being there for his children. God saves them. God answers his prayer for them. God is with them. God is with them. Just a reminder that what God does for his people. And verse 7 talks about the human foolishness in the world. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. Pretty simple, straightforward verse. There are false gods out there. There are places where people put their trust. As for me and my household, we're going to put our trust in God. Verse 8, they are brought to their knees and fall, but we rise up and stand firm. The enemies of God are the ones who are defeated, but the friends of God, the believers in God, are the ones who are blessed. So God will have his way over his enemies. God will have his way with his children, making sure his enemies, the enemies of God, don't overcome, making sure God's children succeed and do overcome. So we give thanks that we have a God who is that powerful and that loving. And the last verse 9, it's just kind of a benediction, a nice closing to the psalm. O Lord, save the King. Answer us when we call. Like I said, just kind of a nice way to end this psalm of total of 9 verses. I think it's a beautiful psalm, reminding us just how good God is and what God does for us. Even when we forget that, which we do, we forget how good God is. We forget how close God is to us. But God doesn't forget us. We give thanks to God for that. So again, I encourage you to read this psalm. Like I say, only 9 verses. It won't take you long, but it's a beautiful psalm. So Psalm 20 is 9 verses. So I encourage you to take part in it. And God bless you today, and we'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.